and welcome. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET Now. I am Sneha and with me as always is Ankita Saxena. This is a show where we'll be taking you through all the big buzzers in today's trade, and we'll be doing that in under a minute. Very shortly from now, we will also have our technical expert who will be joining us on the board to take us through the same. But on that note, let's take a look at what the markets are up to right now. And Ankita, I'm not looking very good for the markets right now because you have a 0.1% uptick coming in just on the Nifty. We have managed to cross that 23,750 mark for now barely, but still under that 23,800 that we had reached at one point of the trading day. Sensex also rather flat but in the green. India Wix, that's the one that continues to spike because now we've also crossed the 14 level. Nifty Bank, although however under slight bit of a pressure coming in right now.
Absolutely, Snehi. In fact, it's a tepid day of markets, and it's nothing that we did not really expect because, there are no positive triggers as such, and all the investors have wrapped up their books for the year, and that's what we're seeing on the markets right now. We have slipped below the 200 DMA on the Nifty. We are, managing to hold on to those 23,750 levels, but nonetheless, it's the Nifty Bank basically that's taking a major blow. But sectorally also, if you see, Nifty Auto is in the fast lane, just like previous session yesterday. On the back of that note coming in from Motilal Oswal, we have Maruti and M&M as the top picks, and they are buzzing in trade. Bajaj Auto also in the fast lane. Well, what's not doing very well is the realty pack and the media pack. That's reeling under selling pressure. Couple of stock names that are in focus today: BPCL, Ultratech Cement, Raymond Life, Apollo Hospitals. But to get a lowdown of why these stocks are in focus and why they are buzzing, let's get started with Market Fatafat, where we take you through all the stocks that are in focus on the back of news flow and on the back of technicals. And for technicals now, we are joined by Nagaraj Shetti, who is the Technical and Derivative Research Analyst, HDFC Securities. And from our research team, we are joined by Ria. Hi, good afternoon to the both of you. And let's get started with all the stocks. Nehi, Ola Electric is what you picked out for us. This one's a high flyer today.
Used to be, Ankita, it used to be a high flyer. At one point of the trading day, it was up 5.5-6%, but it has tapered down from all of those gains because yesterday they've announced the opening of over 3,200 new stores co-located with service centers across the country to address rising complaints about after-sales service. If you see the chart, it opened up pretty strong at the start of the day, a 5.5-6% uptick coming in for this stock, but has simmered down ever since then. Almost at the lowest point of the day is where Ola Electric is right now, just a 0.3% uptick coming in. Now this expansion comes as the new age EV maker faces stiff competition from established players in the electric two-wheeler market, and with this move, Ola Electric's network has now grown to 4,000 stores nationwide, which is a four-fold rise from its previous footprint. Remember, earlier when they had announced that they will be rolling out 3,200 stores in a single day on Christmas Day, that day and the session after that, the stock was up 5% back-to-back. But since this was a largely factored in event which has just been executed yesterday, the stock did open up with some excitement and exuberance, but since then it has simmered down, just a 0.3% uptick coming in on Ola Electric.
Alright, moving on then. Nagaraj, you've picked up Grasim for us. Now, this particular counter has been in a long consolidation mode since the last 6 months. From here on, how do you see this counter moving? Do you see a breakout happening in this counter?
I don't think any upside breakout at this point of time, and the overall chart pattern is not that conducive as of now. Whatever it has gained over the last few years, I'm expecting there is a possibility of some downward correction is likely in the stocks. Currently placed around the support of 247060 level. Once it comes down, then we could see some more weakness is likely to be there in the Grasim. And the next lower support to be watched on the decline is around 2250.
Grasim's on the chart, but moving on to another counter that is in focus today, and that's PNB Housing Finance. Now, there's a note by Motilal Oswal on the counter, and they're maintaining a buy call with a target price of 1,160 rupees per share. They feel that strategic shift in a product mix and that they're tracking well on the execution mix, that augurs well for the company. Improvement is likely to aid the NIM's expansion, the recoveries to keep the credit costs benign. The company is now well positioned to deliver an at least 18% loan CAGR over FY24 to 27. They expect the company to deliver profit CAGR of 23% over FY24 to 27 and an ROA and ROE of 2.6 and 14% respectively in FY27. The stock is currently trading at 1.2x FY26. On the back of that, they're maintaining a buy call on PNB Housing Finance. It has given up those morning gains. It has slipped into the red and is trading with cuts of 0.7% for now.
Okay, so that's PNB Housing in focus, 0.7% lower. That's where the stock is right now. Nagaraj, coming back to you, you've picked out Cummins on the chart for us. Now, when I pull up the last 1 year chart or 6 month chart, the stock seems to have done well. 6 months also 25% return after a slight bit of a consolidation is what the stock is going through right now. Tell us what's the view coming ahead on this stock, because overall it seems to be a steady mover. Do you believe this momentum, this steadiness can continue heading into 2025 as well?
I think some more weakness or consolidation is likely for the Cummins. If you look at the chart, constantly it has been coming down by forming a lower tops and bottoms, and there is a strong resistance around 36.50 levels, and we have seen some negative candle pattern formation at on the weekly chart, like a bearish engulfing. So overall chart pattern is looking weak, and I'm expecting further decline. And the next lower support to be watched for the stock is around the 3050.
All right, moving on. Ria, I'll come to you. You've picked out NALCO for us. The stock was trading with gains in the morning. Tell us what is the news flow here?
Well, yes, so NALCO is in focus since the mining lease deed for the amalgamated Utkal D and Utkal E coal block was signed with the district collector of Angul on the 24th of December this year. And this was done in order to enhance the coal production capacity of NALCO to 4 metric tons per annum, which will boost fuel security to the captive power plant. The lease deed is going to be valid up to the 21st of April 2051. And on the back of this, the stock was up around 3% in early trade today, but right now it has pared some of those gains, but still holding on to gains of just about 1%.
That is NALCO in trade, holding on to some steady gains, coming in a 1% uptick. Nagaraj, you've picked out Devyani International. This is a stock that not a lot of analysts are talking about, because usually when we talk about the QSR space, it's Jubilant that is standing out to them. We've had a couple of techies also come on the show over the course of last week and speak very highly of Jubilant. What makes Devyani International attractive to you, and what are the levels that you're spotting for this one?
Yeah, Devyani has been in a consolidation phase over the last few weeks. What we can observe on the lower, smaller to larger time frame chart is that it has been in an accumulation phase around 165, 170 levels over the last couple of months, and recently it has witnessed an upside breakout of 173, 75 levels and moving higher. The overall chart pattern is looking positive for Devyani. I'm expecting further upside to come in the near term, and the next overhead resistance to be watched for this stock is around 205.
All right, keeping with the consumption pack, then there are several good consumption bets according to Anand Radhakrishnan, who's the managing director of Sundaram Mutual. Let's listen and find out the stocks that he's bullish on.
While the basket of consumption has evolved over time and the new growth sectors in consumption has come, as long as we are aware of that, I think there is still reasonable investment bets that can be made. Maybe it is instead of certain kind of old consumer staples to certain discretionary consumption or new kind of consumer staples one can bet on and try to make money. Now, third, of course, thing is this nagging worry that the middle class is not having enough disposable income, or maybe their income is not growing at a level which can support more and more consumption. At that kind of a thing. I think it's a lot of thing is a little bit of overblown worries, but while in the short term we may have seen that trend, I think maybe because of the job creation in the IT sector is low and few other sectors we are able to see significant recruitment trends. But we think at the margin things are changing for better, both on the urban side as well as on the rural side. And maybe in the second half of 2025, we will see consumption come back, and one can possibly look to find some good investment bets in that space.
Hi there, welcome back to Market Fatafat. Thanks so much for staying tuned to ET Now. Let's keep it going with all the newsmakers in today's street. Altech Cement is the one that we wish to highlight next because the stock is not doing much right now, 0.2% higher. But Altech Cement has announced that it will source renewable energy in captive mode from Clean Max's special purpose vehicle, Clean Max Sapphire. The company has entered into energy supply, share subscription and shareholders agreement to acquire a 26% equity stake in Clean Max Sapphire, investing up to 457.6 million rupees, which roughly translates to 45.7 crores, or in dollar terms $5.3 million. The SPV will set up a 55 megawatt wind solar hybrid project on a captive basis in Honavad in Vijaypur district in Karnataka to supply power to Altech Cement. The share acquisition will be completed within 180 days. Also, another reason that Altech is in focus today, that it has completed the acquisition of the 32.72% stake in India Cements, an exchange filing by the company said on the 24th of December. Two reasons why Altech Cement is in focus, but currently not doing much, just like the benchmarks, up 0.2% is where that stock is.
Alright, moving on then. Now coming to you, Nagaraj. Petronet LNG is the name that you have picked out for us. In the last 1 month, the stock has picked up, it has picked up a little bit of a momentum. Tell us from here on, where does it go? Is it headed towards this 52-week high now?
Yes, Ankita, Petronet has been a resilient during a weaker broader market. Currently placed at the trendline resistance, which is somewhere around the 345, 350 levels. The overall chart pattern is looking positive. RSI is in a bullish mode. I'm expecting a decisive upside breakout in this of this downsloping trendline and technically, and I expect this stock to move up further. So the next overhead resistance to be watched is around 360 for the next couple of weeks.
Alright, moving on then to the auto pack. Motilal Oswal has come out with a note on the auto pack where they say that, even though November was expected to be a weak month due to the high base of last year, the passenger vehicle industry has posted a 4% year-on-year growth in dispatches in the month of November. The year-to-date basis, while the two-wheeler ICE segment has grown 10.8% on a year-on-year basis, the passenger vehicle industry has posted just 1% growth on a year-on-year basis. Now they feel that Honda Motor has outperformed in both the scooter ICE and the motorcycle segments. Major passenger vehicle outperformers year-to-date are M&M and Toyota. Toyota have gained 210 basis points and 185 basis point market share respectively. In passenger vehicle sectors, the top picks are Maruti, M&M and Hyundai. Of course, auto is in the fast lane today, as we all know, and M&M and Maruti are leading from the front. On the back of that, M&M is up 1.6% and Maruti Suzuki is up 1.7% in trade.
Okay, so that's the word coming in from Motilal Oswal, but also go across and listen in to another expert voice coming in from Motilal Oswal itself, because they seem to have downgraded autos and have only select auto players in their model portfolio, according to Gautam Duggar, the head of research of institutional equities, Motilal Oswal. Let's go across and listen in to what he has to make and he has to say about the sector going ahead.
If you look at auto performance in terms of earnings in Nifty, between FY21 to FY24, the auto earnings in Nifty went up from 20,000 crores to close to 60,000 crores, which is a very strong performance on a low base. So we are expecting the margins to normalize now in FY25 second half as well as FY26. And we were expecting single-digit earnings growth for auto in FY25. And telltale signs of that were visible in the monthly numbers of both two-wheelers as well as four-wheelers, which is when we downgraded auto to underweight in July. And we only have M&M and TVS in our model portfolio.
All right, moving on from the auto pack to the realty pack. Nagaraj, you picked up Godrej Properties for us. Now, while the realty pack has done pretty well for itself, Godrej Properties really hasn't moved the needle. In fact, it has been in a corrective phase in the last 6 months. From here, do you see this counter picking up, along with its peers like in the realty pack? Do you see this counter now moving up?
I don't think so, because this is the one stock which has been underperforming since after the consolidation, and currently is not showing any sustainable upside bounces and staying at the higher levels. We can observe that lower tops and bottoms on the chart is indicating that weak bias for the stock price. Even though it has broken above the 200-day EM, but was not able to sustain the highs. Again, it is coming down. So overall chart pattern is looking weak for this Godrej Properties, and I'm expecting some more weakness in the next 1 to 2 weeks. So next lower levels to be watched for the stock is around the 2,700.
700 is the next level rather to watch out for Godrej Properties. Now a very bullish outlook coming in from Nagaraj. Ria, coming to you, Raymond Lifestyle is the stock that you've picked out. I believe it's on the back of a brokerage note, and the stock has been doing pretty well interly straight.
Well, absolutely. So, Motilal Oswal has come out with a note on Raymond Lifestyle. They've maintained their buy stance on the stock with a target price of rupees 3,000. They say that festive and ongoing demand season has improved, and collections have also improved in the third quarter of FY25. Now, the higher number of wedding days are also expected in H1 of FY26, and demand momentum is also expected to remain robust going forward. They also have expectations of double-digit growth of around 12 to 14% in secondary sales, and they are factoring in 9 to 11% CAGR in revenue, EBITDA and net profit over FY24 to 27 in the branded apparel segment, which will be the key growth driver for the company, aided by the increased EBO footprint and the ramp up of the Ethnics brand by Raymond, and the company's entry into sleepwear and innerwear segments as well. So on the back of this, the stock is up around 1.5% as we speak.
Alright, from Raymond Lifestyle moving on to IndiaM, Nagaraj, that's the counter. In fact, it's hit its 52-week low as I can see. Do you see a breakdown coming in on IndiaM now?
Of course, there is a possibility of a decisive breakdown in this IndiaM. Currently, not showing any respite because showing upside bounces, smaller bounces in between compared to the sharper declines from the lower highs. Currently placed below 2250 level, which was the support earlier, and I'm expecting more weakness to come in the weeks to come, in the next at least 1 to 2 weeks. Overall chart pattern is looking for a negative, and the next lower supports to be watched for the stock is around 2100 to 2080.
To watch out for on IndiaM. Again, yet another stock coming in from Nagaraj that he's not bullish on. But on that note, viewers, it's the last stock that we wish to highlight on this show. And Nagaraj, thanks so much for joining us, as well as Ria. But well, with that, we'll be wrapping up on this edition of Market Fatafat, and you stay tuned to the channel because more news and updates coming on the other side of this break.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.